So welcome to our Fruizee cleaning video. My name's Scott and I'm going to walk you through the cleaning process for the Fruizee system. Now the very first thing you do is pull off all the product into the takeaway containers, because this is a great way to actually sell it as a take-home product. Once you've pulled off all the available frozen product and it's gone into the freezer, we just basically turn the machine off, let the last little bit of product just liquefy, and then just pull it off into a bucket. So when we get down to the very last bit of mix left in the hopper, the inlet tube won't be able to suck up any more of the product. That's when we want to add our warm water to the reservoir and start pulling off the last little remaining part of the product. So on this step, all we need to do here is engage the wash cycle, which is the button here on the bottom left. We push the wash cycle, you can hear the compressor fire up, and all we're going to then do is draw off the remainder of the product, and we're going to keep adding water and pulling off the product until the water comes through crystal clear. So this simple part here is basically the reverse of how we put it together at the startup. So now we're going to remove the mixed feed tube. So the first thing we'll do here is pull up the pin. This will just slide out, and then up comes the entire tube. The last bit of product will go down into the freezing cylinder, and then we'll continue to add some more water and pull that through, and then we'll add our sanitizer and pull that through. Really straightforward. So the next part here is just a matter of dismantling all the parts so that we can take them to the kitchen and give them a thorough wash. So the first part to come out here is the inlet tube. It just lifts straight out like that. It's not under any pressure or screwed in, so it just lifts straight out. The next part that we take out is the stirrer. It just stirs the mix in the hopper. The float comes off. And then the pump. So with the pump, there's two screws on, one on this side, one on this side. They unscrew and it lifts straight off. Off to the kitchen and we wash these. So removing the front door is simply a matter of undoing the four corners. These will just screw right off and come completely off. Nice catch. And the entire door on the front will just lift straight off. We're going to take this to the kitchen and dismantle this, and when we dismantle this, it's really a simple remove the pin, out pops the valve, out comes the handle, and up comes that. And that's the door handle there. The internal beater literally just comes straight out. It's a very snug fit, perfectly fit, and at the very back of it is the spring that sits on the back there like that. So these will just come apart, they'll be washed as those three parts there and assembled just the same. Really straightforward. This is one of the great things I just want to stop and show you for a second about this Fruizee system, is just how effective the wash cycle is itself. If you take a look at these parts, these haven't gone to the kitchen yet, I've just pulled them straight back out of the bucket, and that's how good and effective the cleaning cycle is here without doing anything. Now obviously we'll take it to the kitchen and use the brushes that are provided with the Fruizee kit to give it a thorough clean, but if you just take a look inside the cylinder, it hasn't even been wiped out yet, and just have a look at how clean that comes out. With just minimal parts, compared to all other soft serve machines on the market, this is one of its greatest advantages. So the reassembly of this is really simple, very straightforward. The first part is this part that goes at the back. We just need to make sure that we've got the O-ring there that sits in that seal there at the back. It's green. It goes onto the end of the beater and just pushes on. Really straightforward. And it's because it's got a unique shape, ovals, sort of elliptical shape in there, it'll fit very snugly onto the part at the very back of the beater motor there. So when it goes into the cylinder, push down, you turn it round until it finds its spot, and it will just push straight in. The very end of the beater will just fit on like that, and it's spring loaded there, so you'll see that before the door goes on, it will just sit out like that. Once the door goes on and you screw the door in, it'll push that in beautifully and snugly, and we're good. So the assembly of the door, really straightforward. On the Uno, which only has the one handle, this is really simple. We've got our drawer handle. It just goes in like so. There's a very simple pin that just sits in there. We line it up and down it goes there. And the pin has the handle, it goes through the handle, and you just got to find your little spot there, and that will slide straight through. Obviously you want to see it come out the other side, and you know that your drawer handle's in, and we're good to put the door back on. So the door will just sit on. 4 screws go on, and the best way to do the screws is diagonally. So we'll put one on the top right corner, then we'll do the bottom left hand corner, just get those 2 corners on fairly finger tight, and then just the other 2 corners on and tighten all 4 up. So with this part here, we're just going to reassemble everything on top. So the first one that goes in, it doesn't really matter what order. It's a stirrer for the hopper. You float, drop that back on. Then we've got our 2 tubes. I'm going to leave off the big outlet tube because when you go to put in your new flavour, you want to leave that out to actually fill the cylinder. Pump goes on. It's pretty straightforward to get this on straight. Obviously the pin needs to go to the front closest to the, so it's pretty easy to get that on the right way. Just screw this down nice and firm, finger tight. Some people that may have a little bit weaker hands may choose to use a tea towel and over the top just to grip it. Obviously this should be set and try not to move. There's another video that shows you how to set the aeration on it, but pretty much it needs to be on 0 each time. So the inlet one will just go in on its own, and guys, that's pretty much as simple as that. As I said, we'll leave this one out for when we put our new flavour in, so maybe try the wild berry next time or perhaps the strawberry, but enjoy your Fruizee. That's it.